Hey guys, welcome to this new series of Beyond the Power. So, in this series, what we'll discuss is we'll actually talk more about what happens underneath your systems when you press the power button. So, it's typically we will try to focus on a data center platform where usually people doesn't actually get more confusing on what exactly happens with the server platforms. So, you can typically imagine, even in your any day-to-day life, when you turn on the power, that turns on your devices, but it's not that simple. When you think about like even a normal laptop also, it's a complicated process, and when it comes to servers, even more complicated. For example, there is no display attached to your server. You have your own laptop, you have your phone, and it has a display and you can see what's happening. But when you come to like a server, for example, rack server, there is no display attached to it. It's headless. So in this kind of things, it's even more complicated and it handles even more tons of requests to solve. So let's get on to it. So let's see over here how the hardware will look like for the server. So as you can see over here, so this is looks like a typically a single server rack board. It has a power supply unit attached to it. Let's say you can see the measurement over here. It's somewhere around 900 watt, which is the power supply unit. And now you see here, you see the multiple LAN ports and some multiple cards. So what we see over here is this, and this is the typical motherboard and the server CPUs. In here you can notice this is a heatsink, but it's not the single heatsink what you may see if you are seeing in a normal desktop assembly. You see another heatsink also. That means that this particular system is a dual socket system. There are two CPUs attached onto the stack. Now, this is the typical motherboard. It has a CPU and it has interconnected with the RAM, PCIs, everything. But you see something over here also. Now, that's a wonderful part. So when you come to the level of a server, there comes the another system, another motherboard. Okay, you can see it's a board which is on its own is a different system. So, like we were discussing, that people started to think like, okay, you cannot have a display attached to it. You just want to run it like forever. But then how will you know what's going underneath? So that's where this systems comes into play, which is a BMC. So it's a baseboard management controller. So how exactly it works is that it gives you a Ethernet port, and this Ethernet port will be known as a management port. So with this, a server administrator can do and manage all the operations on your board as if they are present with it. If you want to flash a firmware, you can do it. If you want to change a OS image, you can do it. If you want to change some partition layouts of the disk, all the things you can do it. You want to trigger the power cycle, you can do it. It's like almost there is no such thing that you cannot do it. So basically, you can do all the operation that you desire with this management pod, and it runs on its own OS. So that's pretty much it. And that's what it boots up. But now we'll go into more details over the period that what's going underneath and explore the depth by every level. So thanks for connecting and happy coding.